Hello, everyone.
Welcome to review time.
Review time.
Review time. We just watched the Ratchet and Clank movie, and
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah. So we went into it like we were thinking. You know, we love the Ratchet and Clank games, which obviously games don't generally translate well to movies. But we thought,
Hey,
it's an animated movie. It can't be that bad. Like it
really couldn't.
I mean, really, they could just take the cutscenes from the game and put them into a movie, and it would have been fucking good enough.
But they didn't.
And that's the problem. Well, it's more than that though. There's it's harmless as a film. Like, the first thing I noticed is that it is very rushed. It's so fast paced. There's no spacing between the dialogue. Everyone's talking. The movie never fucking shuts up, and so there's no time for them to have an emotional scene, a quiet moment that stands out from the rest and kind of lets you absorb the emotion of what's happening, and then, like, the jokes are there. There are jokes that are executed somewhat well and are actually kind of funny, and there are jokes that are clearly good jokes but are executed so poorly that they don't get a laugh at all. And I mean, I understand why they rushed it. Like, they rushed it because they were trying to get a lot of plot out in a very short time so they could get all this shit going on, when they could have just taken some shit out of the plot instead of, like, having these rushed scenes of, you know, of things happening with the villain and then things happening with the hero, and then the two heroes meet.
Focused on everything Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah,
That's what it should have been.
it should have been just Ratchet and Clank.
It was tough for me because I grew up with these games. My first system that I actually really played was a PS2, and one of the first games I ever got was actually fucking Ratchet and Clank. And I love that game. I love that game so much. We're actually probably going to go play a little bit after this.
Yeah, we're missing out now.
We're sad because it wasn't... Because what I really wanted out of it, what I thought it was going to be, was a buddy cop movie. You focused on Ratchet and Clank. You focused on them becoming a team, building something together, and actually, like, fighting off enemies all the time. And then, hey, they join the Galactic Rangers because they're seen by Captain Quark and like, hey, this is something that... It's a small town kid growing up in the dirt, and now he's actually a big time star. And it would have brought focus back to the Galactic Rangers. And then there's a clear divide between Ratchet and Clank because one's thoughtful and one wants to shoot first and ask questions later. We get the rise of the villain, and just do that through small cutscenes, little small ones, like just to have, like, nefarious, shadowy figure. And we know the voice. Like, we know, like, as people that have... But other people wouldn't. We know it's nefarious, but no one else knows. And then all of a sudden it's just a reveal right close to the end, right when everything's about to blow up in their face, and then they have to do the comeback, that it is nefarious.
Yeah. Well, and we don't want to spoil anything just yet. We're going to get into spoilers in just a sec, but, like, it falls on its face very quickly.
Yeah.
And like I said, nothing is built up properly. There's there's just too much shit going on. But we should get into spoilers now. So if you haven't seen the movie and you still want to, go, like, stop the video here, go see it, and then watch the rest of the video afterwards. Here's the thing. They focus on what was his name? The evil guy, the first evil guy.
Shit.
I don't even know his name.
No one cares anymore because honestly, he was...
I don't even think they even said his name.
The guy in the first... If anyone that has played the games, is the guy in the first movie where he's
the first game.
Or the first game, sorry. That he focuses on trying to build his own planet because, yeah, he's never had a time in the sun. And he wants to build something that's all his own. And the thing, though, is he falls so flat the moment the movie starts.
Well, the thing is like, the reason the movie falls flat is because they focus on him, and then they focus on Nefarious, and they focus on Quark, and they focus on the Galactic Rangers, and they focus on Ratchet, and then they focus on Clank, and then they bring those two together, and they're focusing on Ratchet's boss at the mechanic shop he works at, and then they everything they kind of bring it together, and it's just rushed, and everything's just an explanation.
It's so
like everything in the dialogue is just them moving on to the next piece of the game that they're plugging. I mean, that's what it felt like. It's just a big, like, we're just showing you things that were in the game. These things were in the game. Look, that was in the game. This was in the game. So you're gonna love this movie because you loved the games. That's no. We want to see a movie version of the game, not the game without us being able to play it.
I really hope Uncharted isn't like this, nor Sly Cooper, because if
or Last of Us, if that still kind of happens. I don't know. I don't know if that's still happening or not.
John Goodman, I don't think you'll ever see this, but you're a fantastic actor. Don't steal this fucking movie from people. Because that was terrible. I'm sorry, we focused way too much on your fucking character, and it pissed me off because, honestly, no one gave a shit. Ratchet was supposed to be just on his own all the time. He's supposed to be a lone wolf. He did everything for himself because he didn't know anything.
They turned him into a Disney princess. He wasn't
so dumb.
He wasn't like this loose cannon that was like like to make stupid jokes and shoot a lot of things and beat things up. He was just this like starry-eyed kid that wanted more than his life was giving him, and he was swept up in the goulage of fucking Quark, and it doesn't.
That is in the games, though. But the thing, though, is it wasn't the right way to do it. You should have done it exactly like the games.
Well, that's the thing. I don't even care if they did it like the games. I would rather them do their own plot. I would rather it be a separate universe from the games. It's their own.
I'm sorry. There was a great joke in there with the timeline, the displacement in time. Couldn't that have been a great idea to just do a new fucking series, a new game where we find out that this is a completely new timeline that Ratchet has created due to him and Clank fucking with time, and it actually being a new story. We had a new villain. We had everything new. It was like back when Ratchet became was alone and Clank found him and everything like that. But it wasn't the same as the first game.
Yeah, like
it was its own thing, and then we could have had a new fucking Ratchet and Clank game that would have been fucking awesome. And I do still want to play it. Still want to play Ratchet and Clank, the movie, the game. But
the game, the movie, the game.
Game of the movie, the game. But still, it just felt it's so rushed. It's just so boom, 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 and I'm sorry, you can't put almost a 40-hour game into an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah. It just that, and that's the thing. Like, there's so much. There was so much in the movie that they should have just cut. It should have just been focusing on a few characters. They only needed the one villain, but they had three. They had three fucking main villains that they focused on, and that they each had their little arcs that were so underdeveloped because they were rushing through all of it, and there was no time to appreciate any of it.
Take heed, Sony, from what Marvel has done. I love Loki, and I think
did Insomniac even write it? Like, I feel like
no,
Insomniac...
there was nothing Insomniac about that fucking
the script. Yeah, like, because in the Insomniac games they were actually funny.
Yeah,
the characters were funny. They were fun to be around, and they were just like fucking no
for the voice actors of Quark, Ratchet, and Clank. Thank you for bringing them back, because honestly, if there was somebody else,
Nefarious' voice actor is phenomenal. I love it.
Fucking great.
I just wish he was yelling like he was in the games. Yeah. He's at his best when he's pissed off.
And it was like those characters and their jokes. I think they really wanted more jokes, because honestly, it felt like just even the sound of their voices, it felt like they were kind of doing something new but old, and it just felt like they weren't doing what they wanted to do again.
The movie felt like it was something that somebody had made in a weekend.
Yeah.
It didn't, like, nobody was interested in anything that was going on.
They're just like, I'm going to throw this together and throw it out to the world instead of taking almost 2.5 fucking years to develop it.
Yeah. Stupid movie.
Ratchet and Clank, I give you 1.5 Kinder Eggs out of 5. You need more prizes and jokes and everything, and I wish in my heart that this doesn't happen. Sony, I swear to God, this doesn't happen to the rest of these video game movies. Because if it does, I will come and burn you down. You don't think I won't?
I honestly want to rewrite it. Because
Yeah.
there's so much that could have been changed and made better.
From people that grew up with this stuff and love it, and people that play video games all the time.
And I give it a like a, I don't know. It's probably like a 2.5 out of 10. It's just it's harmless, but it's just so bad. It's inexcusable what they did to it. And it wasn't insulting. It wasn't like DMC Devil May Cry the remake.
We're not talking about that today. We might
another Scyther
one day.
It wasn't like Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Oh God.
It was just a mediocre film.
Yep.
In general.
And you know what? If it makes a little bit of money, cool, great. But do not ruin fucking Sly Cooper.
Oh,
Okay.
They will.
And if you do,
will.
again, I will burn something down.
I don't know how that's going to translate to a game, honestly.
Assassin's Creed's gonna translate to a fucking movie.
That'll work as a movie, but I don't know how Sly Cooper was going to work as a movie. That's like, it's a stealth game.
It's probably gonna be a love story. And
one thing I have to say that I'm really happy
Yeah.
with Ratchet and Clank is they didn't do a love story. There
That
wasn't a love interest.
Thank you for
They
not-
didn't cop out like everyone else. Just like, we need to have a love interest.
Which is great because, of course, love interest doesn't
bestiality
actually
and-
come in until like game four.
Well, technically, there was a sort of love interest in the second game, Going Commando.
Yes. Oh, with the daughter. Yeah, with the daughter. But hey, you know what, guys? The references in Ratchet and Clank, great to the old movies.
A couple of good jokes.
There are some good jokes, but honestly, mediocre at best. Please, please, please go spend all your money on Civil War, which we'll probably review when we see it.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.